What's up? What's up? What's up? What's happening, everybody? Man, I'm coming in with another video with another one of my thoughts videos. Um, this is pretty interesting because this came out a couple of days ago. And I don't know why nobody haven't really talked about it, or I haven't really seen it. I was just watching a Realmcast, and it was, and I, was checking out a couple of things of what they were talking about, and they so happened to was bringing up some stuff about Mortal Kombat that I thought that was very interesting. Now we do know that the Mortal Kombat's going to have a new series or a show. Well, I know they got a movie coming out, and we know that the big the action movie they're going to get a sequel to that. I think it's going to be a trilogy actually. But this right here is for the gaming space. Now I'm going to sit there and play this clip for you guys to let you hear this, but before I play the clip, I want people to be reminded of a few things, right? I want people to be reminded of a few things that we heard. Couple, maybe it was last year, and then some more information a couple of years ago before the ZeniMax deal. Now it all goes back to when the ZeniMax deal first happened. Um, and I know I'm kind of just starting a video right off the bat. I usually give about an hour or two, but I couldn't wait to talk about this stuff because this was like nuts. But anyway, okay, back before the ZeniMax deal, there was talk about Microsoft trying to acquire WB Games. That didn't happen. And the reason why it didn't happen is because of the fact that if you remember, the former administration wanted Microsoft to get TikTok. And because it was this whole thing about China doing stuff and spying on people, just like anything else, big corporations spying on people. I think we kind of understand that just have taking our data and looking at it and all this other stuff. But anyway, they made it a big deal that they wanted to try to have TikTok be owned by an American company. And at that point in time, they were looking at WB Games and they were looking at another studio. Nobody knew who the other studio was, right? But then we come to find out that it was ZeniMax. And the WB deal fell through some way, shape, or form, but what they had that on sites, just pinpoint, right? Then you fast forward to that, you fast forward to 2021. There was some news about Microsoft starting a studio. They hired somebody that was formerly worked in Midway that worked with, at the time, with Ed Boon, and I believe his name was Tobias Harris. I think that's how you say his name. I know it was Tobias, but I can't remember what the last name was. Could be Tobias Harris, but formerly worked with them on Mortal Kombat and all those other fighters. And there's these rumors that's been going around, and I've talked about this not too long ago, talking about looking for trying to start a new fighter series or franchise that's going to be kind of like in the same realm of what we see with Multiverse and or Smash Brothers, Arena Fighter, pretty much. And if you think about it, it would be a hit. You would think that it would be a hit, especially now with all the IPs that Microsoft has. And then if they want to go ahead and they acquire if they acquire Activision, then I mean, just think about all the IPs. I mean, you got Doom, you got the Doom guy, you got it, Master Chief, and then all those characters in there. You have the Arbiter, you have Locke, you got Buck, you have all these other crazy characters just in Halo. Then you got the characters in Gears of War, and then you got Sonoa from Hellblade. You have also even classics. You Banjo Kazooie. You could bring Cameo, you could bring, I mean, tons and tons of characters. Not only top, you bring Soap from Call of Duty. I mean, that game would be a hit as long as the game plays well. That's the one thing about Multiverse, is where it plays amazing. And on top of that, WB got so many IPs. It's just nuts, right? But all right. That was the one thing. Of course, on top of on top of everything about Killer Instinct 2, is they're just looking for the right studio to work on Killer Instinct 2. Some interesting news just came out 4 days ago, and I'm going to play this clip to you because this is from me saying all this other stuff. Is coming up to this interesting clip, just this little clip right here that I'm going to play that was on Ramcast. Here, let me go ahead and just go ahead and hit this. Boom. And let you hear it for yourself. All right, let me go ahead and hit these buttons. All right. Check this out. Listen to what he just said. What he says.
So, about the MK license itself, how long have DST actually had it?
That's hard to say. I think we've had it for a few years, even though the product has only been coming out for a couple of years. There is a period of time where we have to, once we've signed the license, we have to go forward with development, and there's the 2D stage, the 3D stage. So I don't remember when we first offered it. Probably back in 2019, I want to say, the first Sub-Zero piece, possibly 2020, but we've definitely had it since before then, because there is that development period. Right now, things have changed a little bit with how they license Mortal Kombat. Warner Brothers no longer licenses the video games, so we're talking to them about what we can do under our license to keep the line going. And some talk has come up about whether there will be some characters from the movies, from the movie, the newest movie, that would maybe go along with what we've done so far. And I think there are a couple of characters there that would be of interest to collectors. So we're looking to see which of those might make the most sense.
Okay, listen to what he just said. WB Games no longer has the license to Mortal Kombat. Who has it? Who has the license to Mortal Kombat? Who owns it now? He just said it. This is a person that works there, that works for NetherRealm, that works on this stuff. And you just heard him say the license for Mortal Kombat is not WB's anymore. So who is that outside entity? That's insane to me, right? Like, that is crazy. I don't know. I mean, all this stuff that we've been hearing, of course, and then there's some other stuff going on. And taking all this stuff with a grain of salt, right? Like, because I know the first thing, because since I'm Xbox centric, I'm thinking, did Microsoft make this move? And they're just waiting for the information for for the Activision deal to go through, and then maybe in a couple of months they go out, or at the end of the year or something like that, come out and say, hey, we got NetherRealm. I don't know. I mean, Sony could have them. Anybody could have them. I don't know. Maybe Ed Boon has just gone independent. I have no idea. But he just said WB do not own Mortal Kombat anymore. That's incredible. So, and this just came out of nowhere, right? Like, this video came out 4 days ago. And this was tripping out because, like, nobody wasn't really talking about it. So, also, there's some other stuff here that's pretty interesting too. I want to read some of this stuff. So I want to read some of these things right here that was just posted, and I don't know. What I'm saying, like I said, take all this with a grain of salt, because maybe there's some kind of license dispute, and maybe here within the next few months or whatever the case may be, WB would get it, because maybe that there was an issue with WB and Discovery and AT&T selling and all this other stuff, and so it could all change. Like I said, I'm not saying that Mortal Kombat is acquired by Microsoft or anything. I'm saying that what that man said, that Warner Brothers do not have the licenses to the games anymore. So they're working with Warner Brothers to figure out what characters, and for the toys and for TV shows and stuff like that. Like, that's insane. So let me go ahead and read this, right? Like, because for what this person indicated, was saying, like, not sure if this means WB is still the licensor or if there is a new one, which would mean potential transfer of Mortal Kombat gaming rights to a new owner. If Mortal Kombat / NetherRealm are both up for sale, as Jeff Grubb reported a year ago, then Boone's hints about many variables and there being a good reason for ditching MK and making a new IP or wanting to make a new IP, and maybe Warner Brothers didn't want them to make a new IP, could change the whole outcome to where all this is coming together to where NetherRealm was like, we're out before y'all even start selling other IPs, or before we don't even know what Discovery Plus want to do. There's indications that Warner Brothers Discovery Plus wants to get into the gaming space, but they care more about all of the ways that they can make TV shows and out of these video game properties. And they say that they show concern. They see how Warner Brother Games is really being successful. They say that they've overachieved, but they more care about the TV aspect of it, and then they'll just dip into the game aspect later. Which, if that's the case, if Discovery Plus just kind of like, man, we want to, we see the value in gaming, but we're more into what we're all about, and that's TV entertainment. I mean, it almost looks like Warner Brothers might be trying to let these IPs go, which has been rumored for years. But this just seems like to be all out there, all up in the air right here. And I mean, of course, Jeff Grubb brought it up last year. It's been so many other indications. I remember, when I got a chance to meet Ed Boon at E3 and talked about, I got a chance to play Mortal Kombat 11 at E3 that year, and then I remember seeing him on the Xbox stage, and we was talking about Gears, and then he brought up, and I had to bring up about Killer Instinct, and he talked about how much he loved the Killer Instinct, and that's not only what he just said to me, but what he said to other people, even online. Like, he really enjoys that IP, and what would be a dream scenario would be a Mortal Kombat / Killer Instinct, whatever. But if this situation is true, where NetherRealm is out there and is already purchased by somebody, I don't know who could it be other than who I would like to be, for a lot of Xbox gamers would like to be. But I mean, like, look, Sony's out there been acquiring stuff too, and like, instead of everybody's talking about Square Enix, what if Sony go ahead and acquires WB Games instead of Square Enix? Like, I mean, like, I'm not gonna say that Sony is not in this picture or whatever, because they definitely is. And so that means Tencent, that means a whole bunch of other entities out there. But from that man's words right there, he said it, that Warner Brothers do not own the licensing rights to Mortal Kombat, or to, I guess, NetherRealm properties. Another thing with this is also said, other potential explanation is WB wants to shift focus to Mortal Kombat cinematic universe and finds the game is hindering that somehow. So they're dialing down short-term gains to build something larger, which that would be ridiculous. I'll read this other part right here. It says, okay, so this was coming from their I guess their reports or whatever that they drop or whatever. They said, aside from the new no game mandate, where we haven't really ever pitched them on. Obviously, they said we can do stuff from the movie, but we haven't pitched them on certain characters. As far as the character goes, it's unfortunate that the situation has changed so much, because it is great to continue to do something different with characters from different iterations of the game, but we'll have to see how that all works out. The possibility of going to the game licensor still exists, but we'll have to see how it goes finishing out the contract with Warner Brothers. I don't know. This blows my mind, man. This definitely blows my mind. I don't know. I think that this is big news. This is big news. This is one of these things where it's like things is happening and nobody actually really knows where this ride's going to happen. But it looks like, from all indications, from what we've heard for years, is that Warner Brothers is about to maybe just get away from doing the gaming thing, and just maybe license characters so they could do TV, and maybe Discovery Plus. Like I said, just they're interested, but they're half in, half out. And if you're not all in on doing stuff with gaming, I mean, we've seen this, then it's not going to work, because if you're not going to sit there and put the right budgets behind certain games, certain IPs that are iconic, or for new IPs, and you care more about something else other than the gaming division, I mean, that's kind of like what hurt. That wasn't that's what hurt Xbox, Xbox One. Regardless of how long games would take to develop, and maybe what in the games that they brought out at the beginning of the generation that were fantastic, that situation in between for Xbox was just terrible. And that almost seems like that's what's going to happen and maybe that's why NetherRealm were already bounced out, or maybe no telling how long NetherRealm has been gone. So I don't know. Like I'm saying, like this just came out of left field. I'm completely shocked to hear it, but I want to see if I can try to go back to it to let people who just now starting to come in listen to this. Try to go back to what he said so you can hear it again. So we can. Let's see.
We're still offering some of those busts. Sometimes we won't make all 1,000 all at once. If the orders are maybe around 500, maybe we'll make 500 of them.
That's not it. Let me try to get back to where it was. I should have wrote down the time. All right, let's see. Let me just start from right here.
Give this way to our listeners.
All right, here we go. Right here. Check it out.
So, about the MK license itself, how long have DST actually had it?
That's hard to say. I think we've had it for a few years, even though the product has only been coming out for a couple of years. There is a period of time where we have to, once we've signed the license, we have to go forward with development, and there's the 2D stage, the 3D stage. So I don't remember when we first offered it. Probably back in 2019, I want to say, the first Sub-Zero piece, possibly 2020, but we've definitely had it since before then, because there is that development period. Right now, things have changed a little bit with how they license Mortal Kombat. Warner Brothers no longer licenses the video games, so we're talking to them about what we can do under our license to keep the line going. And some talk has come up about whether there would be some characters from the movies, from the movie, the newest movie, that would maybe go along with what we've done so far. And I think there are a couple characters there that would be of interest to collectors. So we're looking to see which of those might make the most sense.
Okay, so again, I made a mistake and said that he worked for NetherRealm. He works for another entity that works on toys and things like that, because that's what this episode was about. I'm sorry. And then just the cost of like the shows and things like that. But he just came out and spilled the beans and just let people know that WB does not own NetherRealm anymore. And so they have to work out the licenses and try to figure something out. And so, like he said, that it's a little confusing because we kind of at this point in time don't know who to talk to. I don't know, man. It is pretty amazing to think that everything that we've been talking about for the last couple of years, and about Microsoft making all these moves and adjustments. And like I said, I can't say that Microsoft is the ones that made the move to get them. It could be Sony, it could be Tencent, it could be Embers Group, it could be that they want to that NetherRealm wants to be independent. I don't know. I have no clue. But from all indications, for what we've heard, for all the moves that Microsoft has been doing, and the fact that Microsoft tried to acquire WB right before they got ZeniMax, they were trying to get WB and ZeniMax at the same time. And remember, like I said at the beginning of the video, because it really wasn't that many people, because I kind of just did a shadow, like drop this video going live. was that it got hampered because the last administration, Trump administration, wanted Microsoft to acquire TikTok. If you guys remember that. And that's what stopped the whole WB thing. And we didn't know about the WB thing. We only heard rumors until after the ZeniMax deal, because it got leaked out, and then it became a point of, I believe somebody from Microsoft kind of spilled the beans on it, or something happened, but nobody didn't but that wasn't never debunked or anything, so it was obvious. And I've always said this. I've said that the one studio I feel that got away for Microsoft is WB. I don't know if it's just certain IPs from WB, or if it's all of WB, or if whatever the case may be. But Microsoft looked at I still think that Microsoft just looking at those studios and just looking at the potential and just looking at that and saying, look, we need to add that to our portfolio. We need that. And they do. I mean, people have been asking for superhero games. People want hack and slash. I was talking about that the other night on Fonzarelli's podcast. Hack and slash are definitely, what I'm saying, Monolith is to me one of the best at doing hack and slash, other than other great developers out there, Japanese developers. But for a Western developer, I mean, Monolith is one of the best. Of course, people love Rocksteady. And then of course the number one for me, and I think for damn near everybody, is if it's not Rocksteady, it's going to be NetherRealm. And NetherRealm is not with WB no more. Who has them? Where are they at? Who's got them now? What's happening here? It's pretty interesting. So I just wanted to drop that tidbit. You know what I'm saying? You could go and do the research yourself. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I was making sure that this was, I heard this. I went back to it like 3 or 4 times, like, wait, what did he say? And then, of course, I did some other research on that. And this is really crazy because some people that I trust that sits there and gives me information about certain things. I'm not going to say sources. I'm just going to say people I trust that gives me information on certain things in the back channels. They have said 2 different things. One, Microsoft. Well, I think we already know that Microsoft isn't done after the big acquisition of Activision. I don't think Microsoft is ever going to go after a big time publisher like that ever again, unless it makes sense to them, which could be Sega. That's the only one. That's it. Anything else, I just don't see them. I think they're just going after studios at that point to round out probably a certain number and then let the ball roll. Because again, in order to have Game Pass truly flourish, Game Pass has to have so many IPs to where people are kind of like, damn, it's too much there for me to even imagine. I feel like I'm cheating the company. There's just so much content here. So the more studios, the better for them, right? So and then of course, like I said, to have the right type of studio to work on, and even if you didn't have NetherRealm Studios to work on the actual Killer Instinct 2, have another developer work on that, but to have NetherRealm being a part of making the story, of having having them do it, because there's out of all the fighters I've played in my entire life, nobody has done fighting game stories better than NetherRealm. NetherRealm is absolutely top of the game when it comes to stories. If anybody comes and tells you that the Mortal Kombat, even, I mean, here's from Armageddon to Deception, just from ever since they started making big time stories, but especially with Mortal Kombat X, Mortal Kombat 11, the way that those stories are, man, they are unbelievable. So to have that, and if they could do something with Killer Instinct to make, man, that game is going to be ridiculous. But I just think also just starting because Microsoft needs that type of studio. For me, I just think that you would be even ahead of Sony, because Sony doesn't have a fighting studio. That's why a lot of people are saying that it makes sense for Sony to try to go after Arc System Works because of the fact that they do kind of lock their games down. DNF Duel is only on PlayStation PC. Guilty Gear Strive is only on PlayStation PC. There's other games that's come up. Well, all the damn Guilty Gears, damn near except for, and then you got Blaze Blue certification. That's centrification. That's on PlayStation and PC only. So, I mean, that would make sense. So for Xbox to try to get a fighting studio, which it has been said that they have, and also the people that they just hired last year at the end of November, at November of last year, they hired that one studio they're not studio, but they hired someone that used to work at Midway that was connected to the people from that was connected with Matt Booty, I believe, and also with the people from NetherRealm that he used to work on Mortal Kombat games or Injustice, Mortal Kombat and Injustice. So it all kind of makes sense. It all kind of makes sense. What up, Witcher Slayer? What's up, guys? So it just makes sense for Xbox to get every type of genre that they possibly can. You know, they're definitely going to be just majorly dominant on Western RPGs. They still need that. They still need, you know, if they want to just have a good relationship with Sega and keep having the Persona games and others, like you got Soul Hackers and just plenty other JRPGs to come through. You don't have to really get a Japanese studio for yourself then at that point if you got good relationships. But Mistwalker is one of the ones that a lot of people want because to me, and I said this on the Fonzarelli podcast the other day, was that in order to combat against Final Fantasy, because Final Fantasy could probably never come back to Xbox ever again. Lost Odyssey could be that one, could be that counterbalance to where you got the Lost Odyssey franchise up against Final Fantasy. Now, Final Fantasy is much more solidified and it's been in the game for damn near 40 years. But the fact of it is that it's more the fact of having something that can compete with something like a juggernaut like Final Fantasy. So that would be a good move. Of course, I keep talking about hack and slash, things like that. So if they start this off and if WB Games is not WB, but if NetherRealm is no longer with WB, then I mean, come on, man, give them a call. Give them a call, Microsoft. Do it quick, because I don't think that they would last too long. And listen, I don't think even if Sony owned Mortal Kombat, let's just say Sony was the ones to pick them up, right? Because like I said, we don't know who got them, right? I don't think that Sony is going to lock down Mortal Kombat from everybody. I think that would be a way that's kind of like the Call of Duty situation. There's just too much money to put on the table to say that, well, okay. And now would it be huge? It would be massive to have Mortal Kombat exclusive on either platform. But in the sense of what these companies are all about is trying to make money, you go ahead and there's nothing wrong with Xbox players giving PlayStation the money. You know what I'm saying? Just like with Call of Duty. Put Call of Duty on PlayStation. Let those PlayStation and then put it on Nintendo. And let all those gamers bring all that money back to Microsoft so they can put more money into Activision, into all the other studios that Microsoft owns. So to me, it's just like Mortal Kombat is one of those games that should never be exclusive. Only game that I feel that should be exclusive is the rumored Smash Brothers type game or Smash Brothers / Multiverse. Is crazy how big Multiverse is getting now. But that should be exclusive in Killer Instinct 2. Those two, because, and some people would say, well, no, Killer Instinct should be on everything too. No. You got that is a premier title right there. You got more. If Mortal Kombat was owned by Microsoft, Mortal Kombat should stay multi-plat. I just don't see. I just like with Street Fighter, it was a big mistake for Street Fighter being not being multi-plat. It's a big mistake for legacy fighters out there that's been out like Tekken. I know when Tekken first came out, it was pretty much exclusive to PlayStation, but Once it got multiplat, they should stay multiplat. But Killer Instinct, it started off being once Microsoft brought it back in 2013 as an exclusive, staying exclusive. This next game that they're doing is just like with PlayStation All-Stars. PlayStation All-Stars was an exclusive. If they decided to want to do that, do their own version of a Smash type of game, then sure, do that. So keep it exclusive to PlayStation. But and then of course, like, I mean, it would suck, but if PlayStation were to get our I can't say System Arc, well, whatever. I said them earlier, but to get that studio that makes Guilty Gear and Blaze Blue and them, then they're already pretty much exclusive on their console with the time exclusivity. So okay, it is what it is, and that's a lot of titles. But like for a game like that's came out to be exclusive, multiplat, like. But that was actually funded by Namco, so Bandai Namco. So Dragon Ball Z or Dragon Ball Fighters Z would still be a multiplat most likely anyway. But that's just my thoughts on that whole situation. Let me go ahead and read some of these things. He says, "What of Mortal Kombat versus KI if they had both? Should that be a multiplat?" That's a really good question. So let's just say that there isn't a Killer Instinct 2 that's going to come later, and if Xbox has another realm acquired, and and that's the first thing that Ed Boon wants to work on is that, then yes, I would say make it a multiplat. Because it's still Mortal Kombat, right? You know what I'm saying? It's still Mortal Kombat. Introduce that, and then that would actually bring more attention to Killer Instinct if they decide to do a Killer Instinct 2, which I hope they do, because of the fact of that game it's so good. Like, I mean, it's in my top 10 of one of the greatest fighters of all time. You know what I'm saying? Like, that game is that damn good, and there should be no reason for that game not to get a sequel. But if this all, you know what I'm saying, like I said, this is all hypothetical. But except the thing that's not hypothetical is that WB doesn't own NetherRealm anymore. But if Microsoft does have them, and the first game that they want to work on, which Ed Boon said he wanted to work on a new IP, that is damn sure a new IP. Let that game be multiplat. Let everybody enjoy that. Let everybody enjoy that game. And then, you know what I'm saying, and then Microsoft could have a three-headed fighting monster with having their own Smash Brothers / multiverse fighter with you know what I'm saying, because it's also supposed to be rumored as well that Project Soul would be working on the game. And if Project Soul is working on the game, they're the same ones that worked on Smash Brothers. So you know it's going to be high quality. You know that's going to be hot because Smash Brothers is to a lot of people the GOAT. I mean, the king of fighters. It's not my king, but it is a lot of people's king out there. So, and Project Soul does a fantastic job. Some people like Melee better than they like Ultimate, but still, there's no denying the effect of Smash Brothers. And so, Xbox would have that. Xbox would bring back Killer Instinct. And then if Xbox had NetherRealm, then do a Mortal Kombat / Killer Instinct. And then let NetherRealm have their freedom of making whatever title that they want to. They may want to make something completely different than anything else that they've ever done. And that's what kind of like from the stuff that I read earlier, it said it's kind of like that's what they want to do. And also, let me add this point too, which was very weird because Ed Boon said he was working on something and he could not wait to show us. That was that was like the month before E3 was supposed to drop it. So we were all anticipating that what Ed Boon was going to drop was then. And we haven't heard anything yet. Now, of course, Gamescom is coming up, and then they're still like, Ubisoft hasn't said anything. They're going to be dropping some other stuff. But I mean, for them not to drop anything at E3, and a lot of people was thinking it was going to be Mortal Kombat 12. What if it's, and from what he said, it's something new. Now, I know Ed Boon likes to troll. Now, that part is, but he's got in interviews, and he was he sounded pretty legit about what he was saying. So we'll find out what this new IP is, and if it's even if it's or it could be Mortal Kombat 12. We don't know, but whatever the new project that he's been working on, that he's been excited about, and he wants to address, we'll find out. But the big question right here for why I made this video was because who has NetherRealm? Who's the owner of it? Does Ed Boon has full control of it, independent, and they can do what the hell they want, or is there another entity that acquired them? That's the big question. That's the reason why I made this video. I just came to read. So So what did you say, Dark Ottoman? So basically, K Mega is all talk about all things that are never going to happen. Bro, I just played the clip from this gentleman right here for the Realmcast that just said that Warner Brothers doesn't have NetherRealm anymore. Go back and watch the beginning of the video. I'm not gonna repeat it again because I kind of lost track where it was. I didn't look at the number of where it actually was. The thing is only an hour. Go around, I would say, the 34-minute mark, and then just let that whole part play, and you'll catch it. And it's between I would say 33-minute mark to the 35-minute mark, and he will because it says 35:53. So I would say started from 33 minutes into like I said, the Realmcast. In the name of the episode is because this was only 4 days ago. It says the art behind Mortal Kombat statues and the Diamond Select toys. So this guy right here works on the toys and stuff like that. It's really, really cool stuff that they worked on. Like dude over there on the top left hand side. On my left hand side at the top, he has some really cool. He was showing some really cool pieces. I would like to try to get my hands on. But these people work on this stuff, and like he said, the licenses is all kind of difficult because Warner Brothers doesn't own it anymore. So we gotta figure out what we can do. So it's pretty wild. So did Amazon? You thinking Amazon bought NetherRealm? Hey, like I said, I don't know. WB don't have them no more. That's all I know. I don't know who has them, but WB don't. So wherever they are, we'll find out. I know a lot of us Xbox fans hope that it's Xbox. I know that if there was some PlayStation people that's listening, they would want PlayStation to have them. I mean, we know Nintendo doesn't really care. But I'm saying somebody has them, and like I said, it could be Tencent, it could be Amazon, it could be Apple, it could be any damn body. So like I said, or they could be independent, but that is pretty damn interesting. And with everything else that's going on, and really, and another thing too, it would still benefit Xbox gamers as well if it would benefit all gamers. Let me make that point. If NetherRealm is independent. But in a sense of, from my perspective of thinking of, a Mortal Kombat cross KI, or NetherRealm working on the story mode of Killer Instinct 2, stuff like that. Like if they're independent, then it would just be great to see the work that they can do and they can do this with other fighters, and they could, other entities out there. Like I said, the way that NetherRealm does the stories with fighters, it's the best of the best. It's top notch. There's nothing. As much as I love the beloved mighty Tekken story, the way that they do their stories is nowhere comparable. Nowhere in the same stratosphere as what NetherRealm does with their stories with Mortal Kombat. Like it's amazing. It's amazing. It is top notch. It's perfecto. But yeah, I think that this is a fantastic situation. This is something that definitely we'll be talking about on So I see you, Don. Hopefully tomorrow we'll sit there and talk about it on Dev and the Gamer and stuff like that. But this was very interesting, and like I said before, from people that I trust. Like I'm not going to use sources. I'm not saying that, but from people I trust, Microsoft is definitely not done. Microsoft has already been talking with studios. Matter of fact, the thing that I've heard It's that there's already like 4 studios already lined up. Microsoft is not going to go after the publishers. The only publisher that they would think that would make sense if they would get after this one would be Sega. I just don't think now, since the relationship is working, they got that partnership. We're starting to see these games starting to roll over from Sega come through. I don't see what's the purpose of getting it except for nostalgia reasons. I love Sega. I always have, always will. But if they could just get the games onto the console of my choice, then I'm cool. You know, I mean, I think that's what all of us really care about. It's just making sure that we get all those titles and not get skipped. But if they, but I think that because of this headache with Activision and what Sony has been doing and all of that, I don't think Microsoft just wants to deal with it anymore. But studios, they're not done. And for whatever studios that they have already acquired, and they'll tell us later, or that they're already in talks to, that I believe the people who told me this. And so I really do think, and of course, that one WB is right there. So I don't know if it's WB or if IPs from not IPs, but if it's a single studios from Warner Brothers, or if it's a CD Projekt Red, or if it's some the studio that makes the plane simulator, flight simulator. That would be a good studio. There's plenty of studios out there that Microsoft can sink their teeth into, other than the ones that we all know that we would love to see. But I just don't see them going after that. I don't see a Capcom or anything like that. I think that, like I said, the Activision deal was just that this would. I don't think people understand how huge that this damn acquisition will be. Like, the Activision deal is so massive. It's so crazy. And then, like, it's really strange. Like, a lot of people, they claim that they hate Call of Duty. Call of Duty sucks because they get it every year. It's annual, it's this, it's that, it's this, it's that. But for a game that for a lot of people can't stand, a lot of people buy it. So something tells me that a lot of people be capping on the internet and then just be going ahead and just buying it anyway. And then to see all of this new hype behind COD, like I can sit there and call it out because I buy COD every year. I didn't buy Vanguard because I wanted to make sure that the whole Bobby Kotick thing was going to be done and over with, and you know what I'm saying, and that situation needed to be, and I uninstalled my Call of Duties, and I wasn't going to play them until that situation was done. Now, since once the deal is done, we finally hear it, then I'll start downloading my Call of Duties, and most likely I'll probably get Vanguard at some point in time when it's cheap enough. But I am definitely going to get Mortal Kombat, the Modern Warfare 2. So I'm definitely going to be back on that. But people, I think some people know that they're a huge company, but I just don't think people realize how massive they are. So that's it on that one. I just want to, this was pretty good. So yeah, guys, if you just now got here and didn't listen to what I was talking about, please just go back when I'm done with the video and or the stream and just check out the beginning of it, because I played this and it blew my mind, and I was watching it, because I keep up with this type of stuff. I love fighters and things like that. And so I heard it and I was like, yo, wait, hold on. Did he just say what I think he said? Okay. So that's news to me. And then of course, then there was stuff out there at other places to where you can find that information about the situation going on between NetherRealm and Warner Brothers, and where NetherRealm looks like they're owned by somebody else, or like I said, independent. So we'll find out more information about that, and find out if they're independent or if they got acquired by somebody, big time. But that's some very interesting news. Okay, so I need to go over here to the second part of this, because I found this to be really funny. I found it to be cool, but I found it funny. And I've been playing Spider-Man. I've been playing the hell out of Spider-Man. Actually, it's crazy to me, because when I first got Spider-Man on PlayStation 4, I wasn't feeling it. I don't know why it was. It's probably because of the games I was playing, and then it just didn't mesh, and I just wasn't into whatever that was going on with Spider-Man at the time. So I just kind of put it on the shelf. And then what got me back into wanting to giving a damn about the Spider-Man games because I never really was a fan of the Spider-Man games, to be honest with you. I've only beaten 2 in the whole time that Spider-Man's been out. Like I don't think I played any of the 360 PlayStation 3 Spider-Mans. The only one that I remember playing was the one on PlayStation 2 and the one on Nintendo. The Carnage one. That's the one I beat on Nintendo. And the other one was on PlayStation 2. It was shell shaded. That's crazy. It's been so long ago. But I really enjoyed playing that one. Those are the only 2 Spider-Mans I ever beat at that time until I played Miles Morales. And then I was like, yo, this is hot. And I beat it like a couple of months ago. And so that's what got me into this whole Spider-Man. I was like, you know, I'm going to get it on PC. And so I did. But there was something that was pretty interesting on when the game first boots up. And for anybody who has it on PC, you know exactly what I'm talking about. I see you game outside. You said Spider-Man. Yep, Maximum Carnage. That was the one. But yeah, let me go ahead and go back and look at this. Where's it at? Okay. So I'm gonna have to switch this up. Well, I don't have to switch that up. I just gotta do this. Oh yeah, here we go. We're going to here now. Here we go. There was when you first boot up the game, right? On PC, it has, you know, your point where you say play the game, settings, options, all that. But then right at the bottom, it says something about a PC PlayStation store or something like that. Like you when you see it, you'll see it right before you boot up the game. Before you start the game, before the game boots up, it has these options right there. And I was looking at it like, what is this? And so I clicked on it, and let me read it. It says the PlayStation games for PC. And so I'm like, hold on, wait a minute. This is kind of really. And so you're looking at this list, and it's showing you all the PC games from PlayStation. Well, not all of them, but the games that Sony is advertising. And so, like, they're giving you an option. You can buy them on Steam, or you can buy them on the Epic Store. So it came me a thought, like, are they trying to start a launcher or something? Like, I mean, this is totally different because they're doing it to where you can play your PC games. Or like kind of like a Play Anywhere, like Xbox has Play Anywhere, but it kind of had that same type of vibe, right? So and it's right there. You can go to it. You can type in on your PC or your phone or whatever, and it's like PlayStation games for PC, and it's right there, and it'll pop up for you. And I was looking at it, so all you got to do is sign in, and it'll link you to this stuff. And I haven't signed in yet, but I thought it was weird. So. With all that came up, and then I seen this pop up today. I seen I seen an article that popped up on Twitter, and I reposted it. And then I go in here and I started going, and I seen The Verge, and I'm reading this, and then it's like, makes sense. They're going to start a launcher. And so for all the indications where people are thinking that, oh well, Sony is just going to keep their games on the PlayStation, and then they'll throw those games out there, throw a little bone to the PC community. That's not how that works. That's not how that works because you're still shortchanging yourself. See, I got into when Mooch was on GRG a couple of months back. He was trying to make the point of why it made sense for them to do that, and I'm like, it doesn't, because you want to get maximum dollar for your purchase right then and there, because games depreciate, especially PlayStation games, the single player games. Because listen. It's really funny. All you got to do is just look at a single player game when it goes on sale after a couple of months compared to a multiplayer game when it goes on sale in a couple of months, if it's popular. Now, if it's not a popular multiplayer game, you'll get it cheap. But if it's a popular multiplayer game, it's going to take a while for it to get to the right price that you want if you aren't getting it day one. But with single player games, they depreciate so quick that it's like, I mean, you got the game of the year, and I know that's 2018, so that's been, about 5 years ago? So I get it. But God of War was $10? $10 like 2 years ago? Like, but if you go and look, you try to pick up any of the Call of Duties. You try to pick up any of the Call of Duties. Ain't none of them bitches $10. None of them. Oh, yeah, Ottoman. So, yeah, I was playing. I played. I had some kind of weird situation go on with because I haven't bought it yet. I'm going to get it Friday. But I was playing a trial, and I played like 3 games, and in those 3 games, probably like about an hour and a half, not even 2 hours. And then when I went walking, came back, and then I tried to boot myself back in, and it told me that my time was up. And so I was like, oh shit. So I'm not even trying to deal with that. I'm gonna try to when I turn on the box and get back on it and then see if it works. I'll I'll get it. But yeah, I enjoy it. 3,500 animations. I don't want to hear people sitting here talking about it's just copy and paste. It's not. Animations is so everything is the game is completely different. I played 3 games and I already seen the difference. Not only with graphically it's a little bit better than last year's, but the animations, you can tell that Madden is they're putting in the work, man. They're putting in the work. I know that there's some people that just want to. I seen somebody post was like, man, all I want is Madden to do this and do the stuff that I did do some check on franchise as well. I didn't dive in fully because it just doesn't make any sense with a 10-hour trial. Not the way that I play anyway. So you know what I'm saying, but there's so many different things that they've implemented into it that reminds you of the old Maddens from before the 360 PlayStation 3, because that's when Madden fell off. When those Maddens came up on there, I think the first year when like Madden 06 dropped, that was the greatest Madden I think of all time, next to 2003. And after that, those Maddens went to straight hell. And they're trying to come back. I know Peter Moore made the point about putting in the engine, and then it takes more time for them putting in different assets and things like that. But I mean, and I know that they did a new engine back then for the PlayStation 3 and for the PlayStation and for the Xbox 360, but that game was complete, just bare. It was awful. And so, like, Don will tell me about how hard it is to try to keep up and things like that. So I try to have an open mind to it. But back then, that generation, Madden was awful, and Madden is slowly trying to get back to somewhat. But I will say the last couple of Maddens, even though the defense was busted in last year's Madden, it was awful. But that Madden wasn't bad. That Madden was pretty damn good. I played about, like, I think 5 seasons of the franchise. There was a lot to be desired in the franchise, but I seen a lot of animations, a lot of different things. A lot of people probably didn't by just playing a couple of games online or just playing the computer and just moving on. And I seen the improvement. So I was capping for it. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, I see the moves for what they're doing with Madden, but people over here, they tell me that I'm full of shit or whatever. And so with this, man, you can tell right off the bat that it's a lot different. Presentation is better, all that. So anyway, you say how the football's looking, man, bro. You better put on that 10-hour trial, sucker, or check out. I'll show some gameplay on GRG Friday. So. Because I could record me beating up on them damn Saints. The next team I'm finna beat up on is them Niners, and then I'm finna jump on them Cowboys. I'm gonna beat them Cowboys up too, and then I'm finna get in there and then get ready for get back to doing some sports, streaming some sports. Get back on that because I will be on that 2K and on that Madden this year. So, but back to my point about PlayStation. Sorry about that. Kind of went left. But the launcher thing makes sense because, like what I was saying, when Mooch was making a point of saying that it just doesn't make sense, maximize your dollar. It comes right back to the whole point that we was talking about so many years ago, and why people thought, well, since Xbox put games on PC, they devalued the Xbox, the console. If that's the case, then why is the Series S and the Series X selling so well? If the console now that PlayStation are putting their games on PC, why is it that the PlayStation is selling so well? If see, that's the thing where people don't really think about. They just say it. And I don't know why they don't think about what they say. You know what I'm saying? Like, they just say shit. They hear it from somebody and they say, "Oh yeah, because I listened to this content creator. This content creator knows what he's talking about." Bullshit. listen, this is the reality. There are not going to be, everybody is not going to run the PC. Not everybody's going to run the console. Not everybody's going to run the mobile, and not everybody's going to run to the Switch. It's just that simple. There's people like me that enjoys the Switch being docked. There's other people that enjoy the Switch being out of a dock because they feel that they got a better experience. It's more immersion or something or whatever. There's also people that think that like the Steam Deck. A lot of people love it. It looks like a fantastic handheld. It looks amazing. I'm not really caring about it. I like watching my games and playing my games on my television or right here on my monitor. I'm old school like that. You know what I'm saying? Now, will that mean like if I'm sitting somewhere for a long period of time and I know that I'm going to be there for a while, well, I won't boot up xCloud? Absolutely, I will. So I can sit there and put on my phone, or at that time when you have something, or if you bring your laptop, or if you do have a Steam Deck or something like that. Yeah, those are the perfect times. But for me, they're so far in between. It just isn't. You know what I'm saying? It's not for me. So that's the same thing with consoles and PCs. PC gamers, they may dabble and buy 1 or 2 consoles. They're not going to buy all 3. They don't care about having all 3. They either want an Xbox, and some people say, well, there's no really point of having an Xbox when you got a PC. Okay, fine. Microsoft is still getting their money. Xbox is still getting their money. You know what I'm saying? So really the only people some PlayStation at that time, because they were keeping their games, so you would get a PlayStation. Now, since PlayStation putting their games on PC, the only thing PC gamers to do, because they can wait. They're cheap. They care about value. There'll be some games that they'll get day one, but they ain't going to get everything day one. So they're a different beast. So again, the Switch is probably the one that benefits the most because it gives you a little bit of everything in one. You know, so like you can have some gaming on the go. You know what I'm saying? It got the Nintendo IPs, all of that. So with this, Sony, look, this is bottom line. You know what I'm saying? Bottom line. All this is Sony doing what Xbox is doing, what Xbox has done. The Play Anywhere, as you see it right here, the Play Anywhere initiative. That's what Sony is doing. And if Sony puts out their own launcher, they have full control of what they can do with their games and how they want to sell them. They can, but there ain't nobody going to buy their games at $70, $70, $80. Not on Steam, they're not. They will probably get a couple of hundred sales. That's it. They're not going to, I'll even give them a couple of thousand. They'll get a couple of thousand sales. They ain't going to sit there and break the bank. They ain't going to be in them high charts trying to sell games at $70-$80. They out their damn minds. But if they start a launcher and then only have it kind of exclusive to their launcher and to Epic's, then you might have something. And if they add the crossplay to it, and the fact that they could actually use that as a win for their service to put it so you can get the ultimate tier. So maybe they could pull some kind of rabbit out of the hat trick, which I don't know. Sony's pretty greedy. They don't think like this, but I would do the hustle. What'd you say, Don? You say, oh, so Optimus is over here giving me you goddamn right, the Rams rule. What? Optimus is giving me a hard time. He says I'm using the Boomers display. Anyway, but the one thing to this that makes this perfect for Sony to do this is that they can manipulate the game. But if I was like, let's say I was in charge of Sony, the way I want people to join my service, my PlayStation Plus, that I can knock off, I can start charging games at 70, at 70, and then eventually 80 because Sony said themselves that they ain't opposed to raising the price up. But we'll just start it with the price that they got right now, 70 on their launcher. But if you subscribe to PlayStation Plus Ultimate, you get $10 off. You get that bitch for $60. But you only got to you got to get it only on a launcher, and the only way that you can play have it cross-play or cross-buy and cross-play between, I guess, them and there, is that if you get it through our launcher or get it through Epic Store, and you get $10 off. Bro, that's smart. Now, will Sony do something like that? I don't know. They want to maximize on every bit of the money that they want to, but I think that would be smart, and I think that there would be a lot of people that would be down for that. They did it with the Vita. If you remember, they did that cross-buy thing with the Vita, and the cross-buy, cross-play thing with the Vita. So why not do it now with PC? You see that and everybody knew this, except for people who just hates PlayStation. They just don't want to see it. That if PlayStation put their games on PC, they're gonna sell. Not all of them. I mean, but for the ones that people, the Spider-Man, God of Wars, the Forbidden West, when that drops, that's going to sell. Miles Morales is going to sell. Those games can sell, and Sony can have full control of doing what they want to do with having their own launcher. They can't throw that shit to Steam. They can't throw that. Steam will take it, but Steam would be probably looking at it like, man, we like the way that you was doing it. That Spider-Man needs to be $50, bro. You know what I'm saying? That shit been out for a couple of years. You know what I'm saying? Hey. And also, you know what I'm saying? And also with Sony having their own launcher, they don't have to pay Steam that 30%. So they can make it to where they can just keep it exclusively on Epic and their launcher. And that might be where they want to go with that. It is what it is. I think that if they were smart to where they can give a discount of some sort, especially if they do take it to where games will, where the old generation of where like, the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One games they're not getting the new stuff anymore. And if Sony decides to want to push their games to $80, and then the best way to do that is to say, well, for people who have PCs or laptops or something like that, we can offer a package where if they subscribe to our highest tiers, we'll do $10 off on the silver, and on the gold premium, we'll take $20 off if they start charging games at $80. Or if they decide not to go to $80, and let's just say they just want to try to promote themselves to get more people onto their service. And they still say $70, and let's just say they wait after that 3-month period where games at that point they lose all, they just completely single player games is kind of just that's it. They're gonna lose a lot of their steam, because then they're already going to be other games that's going to be available plus all of that. So they could do a deal to where they could charge. I mean, where if you go into their plan, and regardless of the tier, it could be the $10 or the $20, and you can get those games for $50. And then for the people who don't get those games, then the game will be $60 or whatever, whatever the price that they want to do. So I think like the next game for me that they're going to drop that will do good. I think that Miles Morales will do pretty good, but I think the next game that will rake for them is Ghost of Tsushima. That game is going to kill it. That game, I think, will rival God of War. Now, some people will say The Last of Us. We will see what The Last of Us 2 remake does on PC. Because they said it wasn't going to drop. It was going to drop quicker than normal on PC. So probably within the next month or two, that it'll probably, I say sometime this year. And then like Miles Morales is going to drop sometime this year. I Forbidden West, I don't know. The game didn't sell very well, so they might drop it sometime this year too. I don't know. I think that they'll still be sometime next year. But at this point, they could drop Ratchet & Clank, Returnal. Returnal will be another hot one too. So they got the games to do this, and they can do their own launcher, and especially once they start getting those online games, all that put in perspective, and they got factions and all that other stuff. It can work for them. It would work, but it's according if Sony is smart with it. If Sony comes out there and be greedy, nobody's going to bite. You know what I'm saying? Except for PlayStation fans that want to play the games on PC, because even as me, I've made my point, saying, what's up, Cali Rex? You said, I just wanted to chime in and say, I believe Warner Brothers still owns Mortal Kombat, and there are signs pointing to Warner Brothers sticking with gaming more than ever now. Yeah, bro, I don't know. We'll see. I mean, because they came and said that it's not about what Warner Brothers want to do. It's about what Discovery Plus. And Discovery Plus wants more TV. They want more TV entertainment. And Warner Brothers want the same. They're looking for a way to maximize on people to come and check out their content. I mean, look, man. I mean, there's a lot of things that's in play right now that's very, very, very confusing to a lot of people. Like all these shows that they taken away, HBO Max is dead, all of this other stuff. So I don't, you know what I'm saying? I disagree, Callie. I disagree. I think they know where their toast is buttered, but I think all in all, it's what's best for them to making all the money. And I just think that, look, if somebody offers them the money to, what I'm saying, because it's all about the money, man. I don't know. I mean, will WB fold up or something like that? No. Because I mean, they already got acquired by Discovery, but I mean, from all indications from Discovery making that comment saying that, hey, they're interested. They're interested into gaming. That's not giving me any confidence whatsoever. If I'm a studio, you're interested? Nah, bitch, you better be all in. I don't want you to be interested. I want you to be all in on what, this is my livelihood. You know what I'm saying? I want my bills paid. You know what I'm saying? I want to be doing what, I'm saying? This is, I don't want to hear you being interested. I want you to be all in. So I don't, and from what that report said, that they're not all in. They're interested. They want to get in the game. I don't know, man. I don't know, Callie. Yeah, you said it has some buttered toast. Yeah, but I gotta watch out what kind of butter, because you know what I'm saying, I'm on my diet. So I mean, I'm saying I can't be, you know what I'm saying, I got some garlic butter that's in there. Man, I want some of that so bad, but I you know what I'm saying, I can't do it. Can't do it. So, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, Fahim, what are you saying now? I think I have 2 of those articles, Cali Rex. What do you say? What Kelly says, I just wanted to, he said this, he says, I'll share you some of the articles saying, Warner Brothers Division said gaming is the most profitable thing they have right now. Well, I said that earlier, and it says gaming is more profitable than their own businesses. I said that, but they're in conflict of what they want and what others want. And see, look, and this is the reason why I believe that NetherRealm is gone, because of the fact that they ain't given their creative freedom. Now, you know what I'm saying? Some studios, they kind of want, they just want security. But other studios want more than just security. They want to do something more out of the box. So that's what I'm saying. To me, like all this stuff that's going on right now, you can't tell me that when there's all types of turnover happen, there's always going to be some kind of issue within the business. There was too many cancellations, too many other situations. They can sit there and sell you a bill of goods and telling you how this is that and how this is that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, they could be saying that, Callie, to boost up their sale. You know what I'm saying? Like they could be saying, look, man, look how profitable all of these video game properties are here at Warner Brothers. Look at this. Look how much money they make. So how much are you off? You see what I'm saying? That it don't have to necessarily mean that they gonna keep them. That might just mean that they just want the top bidder to they want to hear what the top bidder is gonna say to them. Like, let me hear that. Because I mean, you're not gonna sell something at a at a loss. You're trying to make some money. So, I mean, listen, we'll find out all about it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not going to dispute and tell you that I'm disputing you, but I'm debating you on it, but I'm not saying that you're wrong because I don't know. We will find out. But I just, for me, just from just my knowledge of just stuff that happens in businesses, when I know that like the businesses I work for, when shit start going weird, people start leaving, things start, they do the good talk, we get meetings, and then we get these meetings about we're all in. Yes, we're all in. We're doing this, and then shit. A month later, that dude, he's gone. He left, and we got some other new dude here because another company bought the company that I work for. So that could be one of the things that could happen. So I mean, look, when you got a lot of turnover, when you got a lot of things that's listen, if WB was at the max of their powers, they wouldn't have been selling off all this shit that they had. I'm not selling off, but they wouldn't have been canceling all the stuff they were. No way. Woo! Thank you, child of God. Appreciate you, brother, man. Go check him out. He just started his channel. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Go check out, you know what I'm saying, Child of God Gaming. You know what I'm saying? He's just started out his channel, man. Go support him. Go support him. Really good brother in the gaming community. You know what I'm saying? He's been a supporter of mine forever, bro. I really do appreciate it, man. We sit there and chat, you know what I'm saying, in private, for years. So, man, go check out his channel. Go support that brother, man. He's good people. You know what I'm saying? So I wouldn't steer you wrong on that stuff. And also go check out Ham Solo stuff, man. Go support Ham Solo, man. That boy be working hard, man. He gonna have Gaz on tonight on his channel. Go check him out, man. That boy's done more interviews than I've seen anybody do of all types of guests. And you know what I'm saying? Like, he does work, man. That boy work. He reminds me so much of Lady Infamous when Lady Infamous first jumped on when we was part of Intro Media Gaming. Like, I just seen the hustle that girl got, man. Like, and that's what Ham does. Ham reminds me so much of her on the hustle aspect of it. You know what I'm saying? It's real, you gotta love that. You gotta love that. But yeah, you know what I'm saying? You gotta sub that. You gotta sub to my people, man. You gotta sub to them. They're really good people. But anyway, yeah, no, you know what I'm saying? So, Callie, we'll see. Like, I mean, if I'm wrong, then I'll come up here and make a video saying, hey, look, I was wrong. Callie was right. But I just don't see, like, just in life, man, when people are doing all that turnover is happening, when there's a lot of shit scrambling, nah, man, something ain't right. Something ain't right. It just isn't right. So, we'll see. So yeah, like, but I do believe that PlayStation is definitely making that move, to get more into the PC space more than ever. And I think it's going to these games. And see, at that point, they don't have to worry about, because they don't have to worry about hearing that jive about, well, that day and date, they'll never do day and date. They can do day and date. They have full control. If they have their own launcher, and if they just put it on the and they just leave it off of Steam and then just put it on the Epic Store and put it on their launcher, day and date, it's smart. It's just you get more money for people because there's going to be people that's going to buy it day one, and especially if they're already invested in the PlayStation's ecosystem like that, they're going to be invested into PlayStation Plus. And if they feel that they can get some kind of value, if PlayStation would be smart enough to drop $10 or $10, $20 off of the price, yeah, that would be great. You know what I'm saying? If they do that, if they drop the games within that 3-month period or 3 months or after, you see what I'm saying? That would be smart. But if they charge the $70 on PlayStation and charge it on PC, and then like if you just buy it on PC, you ain't got a double dip. You know what I'm saying? So that is just smart. That's what they're doing. Everything that Microsoft is doing. I mean, it's just simple. They see it. And look, I'm not going to get into roasting. I'll save that for GRG Friday. I'm not, you know what I'm saying, or next podcast Thursday. You know what I'm saying? I ain't going to be doing too much roasting on next podcast this week. But I'm not next. I mean, Devin the Gamer this week. But I'm going to roast their ass on Friday, Thursday and Friday night. So, you know what I'm saying? Check me out on the Xbox 448 channel and on my channel, GRG, because I'm going to roast their ass for this one. Because look, this is nothing but and I can't wait to see all these posts from PlayStation gamers and their thoughts about this, because I am going to look for it, because I ain't going to comment or nothing. I just want to see what the PlayStation community say, because I tell you, when you read comments from just actual PlayStation fans, they love it. They think this is amazing. They crave what Xbox gamers have been getting, because it's value. There's not one gamer out there or anybody out there that doesn't want value. If anybody tells you that they don't want value, then either they're a billionaire, or or they just maybe they're in a mental institution or something. But there's nobody out there that doesn't want value of some sort. And people see that Microsoft is offering value. They just see it. They see it. And they want it too. So, and that's why Sony is going to give it to them. They're going to give it to them in certain ways. They're not going to give it to them like Xbox completely does, or they're going to slowly try to keep doing it. Everything that they're doing is just slow, drip, 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 drip. That's exactly how they're working it. It is funny as hell to me. C-Mac, he said, affiliate. He said, breaking news, I am buying the rights to K-Mega 405. He will be a Sony content creator from now. Bro, man, hey man, you over here, man. Y'all be buying too many of them. Y'all buying too many of them games for too high prices. Y'all ain't got enough for me, man. You know what I'm saying? Y'all paying $70 for games. Y'all lost y'all damn mind. You ain't got enough money for me. If you buy my rights, you better sit there and get up on this. Get you a service. He said, I'll go buy it. You know what I'm saying? Listen, I'll say, look, I don't think that me being negative about, see, some people will try to perceive that, okay, Mega's being negative about PlayStation, because I'm telling the truth is right here. You put Spider-Man, you turn Spider-Man on PC, that shit goes right to a link. You got it right there at the bottom is a link that sends you to their Play Anywhere. Play Anywhere, PlayStation Play Anywhere. And they're soliciting and everything. So it's going to happen. It's almost there. And I can't wait when they do it. And when they drop their games day and date, I can't wait. I want to make sure that I hit up Mooch and see if he comes back on the GRG so I can light his ass up to tell him how wrong he was. You know what I'm saying? So, because it's just inevitable. Just inevitable. So it's great. It's great. So yeah, but sure, I appreciate it, brother. You know what I'm saying? If you want me to make Sony content, you want me to be a Sony content creator from now on, brother, you gonna, man, no, man. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna have to make sure that I get the games. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna have to give me you're gonna have to give me a PlayStation 5. You're gonna have to give me that you're gonna have to give me that VR when it drops. Man, I got you. You know what I'm saying? Gameplay. You know what I'm saying? I'll have GRG on the side, and then maybe on a you know what I'm saying, when would I do the PlayStation GRG podcast? Let's see. I don't know. What? I don't know. I'll pick a day. You know what I'm saying? But until I get those things, can't do it, bro. So I know I ain't gonna get shit from you. You got to spend too much money on them games. You said Sony can't afford day and date. No, Rain, they can, bro. They can. Anyway. But guys, I really enjoyed it, man. I just wanted to touch on this. The big thing is go back and check out the stream earlier. I was talking about NetherRealm. That is very, very, very unusual. Like I said, a dream would come true if Microsoft got a hold of them, because that just makes my ultimate dream come true of Killer Instinct versus Mortal Kombat become more of a reality. But like, just like everything else in life, you know what I'm saying? It ain't gonna be that sweet. It's just not gonna be that sweet. The best thing to know is just that maybe NetherRealm is independent. You know, and if you know what I'm saying, and I think that they would make a lot of money being independent. But if somebody got some, like I just read, like somebody said in the chat, like maybe Amazon got them and maybe they were trolling, being funny, but hell, I don't know. Somebody could have them. I have no idea. But WB don't have them. That was clear. And the guy that said that in the beginning of that video, he made that clear. So that's very, very interesting. So everybody have a good one, man. Until the next video, I will definitely check it out. I'm going to be doing a lot of work, man. I'm going to be my hustle this. I ain't hustled like this week in a minute. I'll be on Wilmy's podcast tomorrow night. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, Devin the Gamer was supposed to be scheduled to do it this week. Next podcast Thursday, GRG Friday, and then I'm going back streaming. I'm gonna see if I'm gonna try to stream something this week because next week Jump Force the servers will no longer be up and available to play online. So I need to get back on that, and I need to get that clip because I downloaded it, but I didn't download it all the way. Where this dude, he beat my ass so bad, but he did so many cool things. And if somebody, it's a love of fighting, but that dude did me so dirty in that match. There was things I never seen that you can do in Jump Force. I didn't know. It was amazing. So I'm gonna try to find that clip and I'm gonna post that because it was amazing. And so we'll get down. Maybe I could try to get some people to come and join me in playing it. And if not, then I'll just go solo and get my head beat by people who's been playing the game from day one. But I'll sit there and I'll go ahead and do that. But man, and then we'll get ready, man. Hopefully this weekend I'll have that Madden. And then we're gonna get back to doing them sports. And then all that. So got a busy week coming up ahead. So I thank you guys so much for supporting the channel and all that, man. And if you have not subscribed, go ahead and do that. You know what I'm saying? Just show some love. You know what I'm saying? To the man that's been doing this shit for a long time, man. I really do appreciate it. But everybody have a good one. We are out. Let me see. Where's my button at? Man, I said I was gonna have that right there, and it's not right there. Here we go. We out of here. Peace, guys.